Hello, welcome back to the woods and welcome back to the fourth part in our series about winter bushcraft gear. In this video we're going to look at the loadout that you would need to spend a couple of nights in the woods through the winter. And why wouldn't you? It's a great time of the year to be out and about in the woods. Now I've done bit of research to see what else was out there on YouTube and they're in the media about what gear to take when you're out in the woods for a couple of nights in the winter. And well, things are a bit conflicting. We've got a bushcraft expert who shows you all the stuff you need, a canvas tarp, a Gore-Tex bivy bag, a winter rated sleeping bag, a thermarest mattress to go inside it all. But then he packs it all up and you see him walking off site with a little tiny 30 litre day sack, which is probably the magic of TV, but I don't think he actually had all that stuff in the little rucksack. At the other end of the scale, well, there's a lot of people who show what they take out on a winter trip, and quite often you're looking at something that is like a 120 litre rucksack that's jammed full of all sorts of interesting stuff. 4 torches, 2 frying pans, a knife for every occasion. In this video what I'm going to aim to do is show you the stuff you actually need, the stuff that I tend to take out. I'm not going ultra light, ultra expensive. At the same time I'm not going stupid by having a massive great big rucksack. I want something that's going to give me all the protection I need, but that isn't going to weigh a ton or be particularly bulky. It's going to follow on in my theme that we've done with the rest of the bushcraft series, in that none of it is gear that's actually too expensive, and also a lot of it is gear that you've already seen me review. To help me with my packing, I write myself a list so that I'm not packing the impulse stuff. I'm only taking what I actually need. To further help me get the stuff that I actually need rather than the stuff I want to take, I work to headings on my list. And there's 7 main headings. Shelter. What am I going to sleep in and what is going to protect me from the weather while I'm on the trail. 2, warmth. Particularly in the winter, that's really important. And it's not just the clothing. More importantly, it's the sleeping bag and the sleep system that allows me to sleep out in cold temperatures overnight. As well as that, I might want to get a fire going to keep me warm, so I need to have stuff in there that will help me with my fire lighting. Next on my list, number 3, is water. What am I going to carry my water in? What am I going to store water in? What am I going to collect and treat water with? Because I'm not going to be able to carry all the water I need for a couple of days in my pack, so I need to think about that. Heading number 4, food. What am I going to eat? How am I going to prepare it? What do I need to cook it in? So that's my big 4, the first 4. I then have first aid, heading number 5. What if I do get a cut or injure myself? I need some first aid gear. I also have tools, and tools can be everything from a torch to a knife for preparing firewood or for preparing food, or maybe I might need something like an axe or a hatchet, again to help me prepare food, prepare my shelter, or perhaps just for tapping tent pegs in. And my final heading is navigation aids, things that are going to help me get to where I want to go. So let's look at the items that I carry for shelter. Well, the bits that I carry to actually protect me while I'm on the trail, my waterproof gear. I've got my waterproof trousers and my lightweight waterproof jacket. The ones that I put up in a video a couple of months ago. They're a good bit of kit. They're easy to carry because they're nice and lightweight, and they give you excellent coverage for a winter bushcraft environment. Next up, my tarp. Now I normally go for the DD 3x3 metre tarp. I like that one. It's a very versatile bit of kit. I did a video on it last year. It's superb for winter conditions. That 3x3 coverage is essential in the winter. You need plenty of space. You can get out of the weather. The joy of one of these is it's nice and versatile too. I can put it up in different configurations to suit different conditions. This one slightly different. This is the DD Super Light. So it's 3 meters by 290, I think it is. And it weighs about half the weight. This one I think is about 400 grams, the other one is about 800 grams. So I'm getting the same coverage for half the weight. It feels a bit flimsy at the moment, but perhaps that's because I'm just getting used to it. But time will tell. To go with that, I've also got a selection of pegs and my little cord sets. And if you follow back through my videos, you'll see there's a couple of quite good videos I set up, very popular videos, which show you how to use the little toggle cords. And in one of my stick projects shows you how I make some very simple pegs. Lastly, one of these, and this is a lightweight ground sheet. They're quite cheap, they're lightweight, and in the winter they give you a nice bit of dry surface that you can work on, something that's going to stop the moisture coming up from underneath you. Through the rest of the year, the summer months, I don't tend to bother because usually I'm sat in a hammock. In the winter everything's wet, and so by carrying this I've suddenly got a dry space that I can lay down inside my tarp, and I've got suddenly a nice dry environment where I can work in and carry out my admin. So my next heading is my warm kit, and this is the stuff that is actually going to keep me warm. Yes, I can light a fire, but my first line of defence is my sleeping bag and my clothing. What I've got here is what I tend to carry. And starting off with my clothing, well, I've always got my woolly hat. I've also got some of my lightweight merino layers that I can pile on underneath stuff to help to keep me warm and to trap that warm air. I've got my lightweight blanket smock as well. This one rolls up nice and small, gives me lots and lots of options. I can wear it as an outer, I can wear it as a warm layer. That combined with this as well gives me a nice flexible warm clothing system.
Right.
So this is my sleep system all set up. Obviously normally I have my tarp up over the top, I've got my ground sheet underneath me, so I've got protection from rain and wind coming in from above and from the sides. I've got protection from the dampness from the ground. All I need to think about now is the cold. So I've got my sleeping bag. This is my Carinthia Defence 4 bag, which I reviewed a while ago. Excellent bag. I don't use a bivvy bag with this one. The only time I use a bivvy bag is if I'm sleeping in the open. Well, I'm not sleeping in the open, I'm inside a shelter. If I do get a little bit of rain coming underneath, well, as you saw from the video, the outers on these are that good, they almost work like a bivvy bag. So I'm not that worried about a little bit of moisture getting in. That's good down to -15 inside the bag. As well as my light clothing that I'm going to chuck on before I get in, I've also got my little parachute nylon mini Moore scarf, which doubles up as a sleeping bag liner. And that helps to keep a lot of my muck and dirt, etc., off my sleeping bag, so it allows that insulation to stay good for longer. Underneath the bag I used to use Thermarest, etc., but they used to puncture on a regular basis. And what I've gone over to nowadays is one of these little air mattresses for in the winter. So if I'm not in the hammock and I'm on the ground, this is what I use. This is an Outkit cloud base air mattress. Very lightweight, compact down, very, very small. Comfort wise, excellent, really, really good. But they are there just for comfort. They don't insulate particularly well. And what you have to remember with a sleeping bag is, doesn't matter how good the insulation is, if you're laying on it, it's compressed, it can't do its job. So you need to think about regulating the temperature underneath you. This will do a little bit, but one of these foilized windscreen protectors in underneath helps to radiate that heat back up towards you. So your body heat goes down, hits this, and comes back up again. So it just helps you keep that little bit warm. So my next heading is water. One of the big things with water is the sheer weight of carrying it. It would be unrealistic of me to carry much more than about 24 hours worth of water. So I need, as well as having a way of carrying water, I also need a way to procure and to treat water and make it safe to drink. My number one item is my Pathfinder water bottle. It's a good stainless steel, durable water carrier. It can also be used in conjunction with fire because it's stainless steel to help to treat my water by boiling. That one carrier is not enough, so I also carry one of these, and this is one of the old Platypus flexible bottles. This one carries 2 litres of water, so straight away I've got over 3 litres of water that I can carry with me. When this one's empty, I can pack it down nice and small, it rolls away nicely. When these first came out, I was a little bit sceptical. I thought, oh, they're going to puncture, they're going to leak. Well, I've had this one about 10 years and it sees pretty regular use, and so far it's been a pretty good bit of gear. So those 2 items allow me to carry water, but I also need ways to procure water and to treat it and make it safe to drink. So one essential item is this. It's my millbank bag. I can collect water in this from streams, rivers, ponds, etc. And what this does is this helps me to get rid of the sediment in the water. That in turn gives me 2 options. I can then either boil it once the sediment's removed, which I can do in my Pathfinder bottle, or I can pass it through another type of filter that will make it safe to drink. And in my case, that's one of these, one of the little Sawyer mini filters. Now, this I could just use in conjunction with the little bag that it comes with. And you simply fill this up at source, screw this on, and then I can drink it straight through. Or what I can do is filter my water and then pass it from the Platypus bag or this bag over into my Pathfinder bottle. So I've got a good, flexible, effective way of treating water while I'm out on the trail. So the next thing we're going to look at is food. Now I'm not going to tell you all the different foods that I carry. There's enough of my videos out there for you to go and have a look. Indeed, there is one that is titled Food, and it's everything you need to know about the types of food I carry there. What I will show you is the stuff that I carry to actually cook it. Number one, a cooking pot of some description. Yes, I could go for a zebra billy can or similar, one of my Moore's pots or something, and I do carry those from time to time, but most of the time, most of my cooking is done in a metal mug. This is the Pathfinder one that nests very neatly on the bottom of the bottle that I carry to carry my water in. It also comes with a lid, and I found this is an excellent bit of kit in use, and there's an awful lot of foods I can do just using this. Also want something to eat off. Well, this is a little pet food dish. There's stainless steel, they're as cheap as chips. I can use it for eating out of. Indeed, I can also use it for cooking. I can make up a damper mix, prop this up in front of the fire, and suddenly I've got nice warm bread. Add to that a spoon, and I'm pretty much covered. I also find it's quite a good idea to carry a little bit of oil. A little chopping board. It's always difficult trying to find a flat surface that you can use for cutting on, so carrying a little board is absolutely ideal. A little flexible folding cup. These not only used for drinking out of, but also can be used for measuring as well. Each one of these holds, I think it's 250 ml, so it's a good measuring item to have too. Now, I don't always rely on a fire while I'm out, so I need to carry some sort of stove. So here I've got some methylated spirits, and in here I've got my little white box stove, and this tends to go everywhere with me. It goes very, very well with the Pathfinder cup. It's lightweight, it's very simple, there's no parts to go wrong. It works very, very well with my Pathfinder mug. A lot of people will say, oh, but it's methylated spirits and that doesn't work particularly well in the cold. Well, it can do. If you pre-warm your mess first, I've never had a problem with it. Obviously, if I'm carrying tools, I also need to carry something for if it goes wrong. So I've got my little personal first aid kit, small shell dressing, and my TapMed tourniquet. My next heading tools, well, I keep that nice and simple. On my belt, I've got my little EDC pouch, and in there that's got a little Olight torch, I like my fire ferro rod, and a TBS bore pocket knife. This little knife I find ample for pretty much everything that I do. I could do food prep with it, I could do carving with it, I don't need to split with it. This is a good reliable fire starter, and this is an excellent lightweight torch. Yes, it won't give me hands-free lighting, but I can clip it to the peak of my ball cap, or I could just carry a little simple head strap with a loop on it so that I can put this on my head for hands-free lighting. For most of the time while I'm out doing bushcraft, that's pretty much all I need. As far as a saw goes, I've got this. This is a little open L pruning saw. It's one of the lightest saws around, and for taking stuff up to about wrist thickness, which is all I need really for getting my fire going, this is absolutely ideal. Might have the weight of carrying anything else. This is simple, lightweight, and it works. Some people tend to carry an axe, albeit one of the small forests, or sometimes one that's slightly bigger. I find myself more and more nowadays either not carrying an axe at all, or if I do, I only ever carry a little Norland hatchet or this, and this is my little cold steel trail hawk. I can use it for splitting wood, I can use it for hammering in tent pegs or hammering in stakes when I'm making cooking jigs. It's a good lightweight axe that I can carry. My last heading, navigation. Well, there's not really a lot I need other than a map, but a couple of things I do always carry. A little waterproof notebook so I can note down my route in advance. My watch, and my little Saunto clipper compass, and I find that that's pretty much all the nav gear that I need. So there you go, that's my guide to the gear that I take out when I go out in the woods in the winter for a couple of nights. Yes, a lot of people will go, oh, you don't need this and you don't need that. I could get by with a much smaller rucksack. Well, I'm sure you could. But it's what works for me, and it's what's worked for me for a long, long time. Hopefully, give it a try, it might work for you. As always, if you've liked this video and you found it useful, then hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, and remember, turn on the notifications button so you can see what videos I've got coming up next. Talking of which, the next one is how to pack all of that lot into a rucksack so it's not too big, it's not too unwieldy, but so that you can get to everything you need when you need it. You can always follow me over on Facebook. I'm Greencraft, just look me up over there. If you want to follow me on Instagram, and I post quite regularly on there, I'm Greencraft_01. You can also pop over to Etsy and have a look at my Etsy shop. Over there, what you will find, there's a few bits and pieces that I sell, including my little Greencraft patches. Get one, stitch it on your smock or on your Bergen, show your support for the channel. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I really do hope that you've found this useful. Clearly a lot of people do, because my subscriber numbers seem to be going up and up all the time to levels that I can't believe. So much so I think I probably need to do another giveaway, so that's going to be coming up very, very soon. Thank you all once again, and until next time, I've been Neil. Stay safe.